Good day, it is Althea from the Bible in 1 year. Today we spend time in Genesis 2, Unashamed. This chapter has a few important elements. It starts with the seventh day of creation. God completed his work which he had done, and he rested, ceased from all his work. This does not imply that God was weary from labor. No, he blessed and made it holy. The seventh day was given to us to replenish and rest in Jesus. Through the finished work of Jesus, we can enter the rest of God. Hebrews 4 verse 9 says, "So there remains a full and complete Sabbath rest for the people of God. For the one who has once entered his rest has also rested from the weariness and pain of his human labors." Just as God rested from those labors uniquely his own. Note at the end of each day we read that there was evening and there was morning, but not for the seventh day. John 5 verse 17 says, "But Jesus answered them, My Father has been working until now. He has never ceased working, and I too am working." This history in verse 4 date back to before creation and to when there was no man to cultivate it and no rain to sustain it. This history was most probably given from God directly to Adam or Moses to record. Chapter 1, on the sixth day, God created man, emphasizing the majestic character of human beings, created in the image and likeness of God. Chapter 2 gives more detail to this event, and verse 7 highlights the fact that God breathed the breath of life, physically, mental, and spiritual, into the one. A living creature, the only one who bears the image with royal and priestly status. God created a suitable environment, Eden, for man in verse 8. Eden means delight, land of happiness. God caused to grow from the ground everything pleasant to sight and good, suitable and pleasant for food. Two trees are specifically mentioned: the tree of life, that stands for eternal life, God's provision, healing, and restoration, and the tree of knowledge, knowing how to distinguish between good and evil. God gave them order not to eat from the tree of knowledge. After eating, experience was gained of good and evil. Adam and Eve knew that they have sinned, and sin brought separation from God. Genesis 3 verse 22. God's will for Adam and Eve was to live happy, created for in the presence of God himself. God's orders include for them to cultivate and keep the garden as a gardener and guardian. Work did not come as a result from sin. Productive work is part of God's plan. Up to now, God said that everything that he created was good, but in verse 18, God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. Therefore, I will make for him a helper, one who balances him, a counterpart, who is suitable and complementary for him." Adam displayed his authority when God brought all the livestock to be named by Adam. They came in pairs, male and female. Adam saw that he himself had no partner. God used this to prepare Adam for Eve. The Hebrew word for helper is ezer, one who supplies strength in the area that is lacking. This does not imply that one is stronger or weaker. The wife is fit for him, or matching him, but not like him. She complements him. Made from his ribs emphasized the oneness that exists between them. God brought her and presented her to the man. Adam understood Eve's connection to him. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. We need not to be concerned about who we will marry. God will create someone for you, and he will bring her to the right man. Everything is in his hands, and he knows exactly what we need and how to create that and present it to you. The bond between a man and a woman is so strong that he will leave his parents, the obligation to them, putting his wife's welfare before that of his parents. The ESV says, hold fast his wife, practicing covenant faithfulness. The chapter ends with innocent delight. They were not aware of their nakedness and were not ashamed or embarrassed, being fully exposed and open as a person before each other and before God. Naked and shame carry the burden of hidden sin, to feel vulnerable, exposed, and inadequate. They knew nakedness, but they did not know a sinful fallen condition. Luke 12 verse 2 says, nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. Therefore, whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in the private rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops. Satan has power over us because of hidden things. To take away his power, we need to confess sin. Through Christ, who already paid the penalty for our nakedness, we are restored back to life again. Christ reconciled us to God. Therefore, we can stand in close relationship with God, unashamed or unembarrassed. May you be blessed. Goodbye.